Welcome back to the Hiking Outdoor Family channel. It's a full moon and we're in Delaware to observe the horseshoe crab spawning. Horseshoe crabs are one of the world's oldest and most fascinating creatures. Be sure to watch this video to learn all about the spawning and learn about horseshoe crabs. It's about 8 o'clock at night and we're on Tower Road, Bay Beach in Delaware Seashore State Park in Delaware, and we're going out to observe the horseshoe crab spawning. At first glance, you might think this horseshoe crab is dead, but it's simply a female that has buried herself in the sand to deposit her eggs. If you look very closely, you can see some movement as she digs in the sand. A lot of older horseshoe crabs like this one often have shells and barnacles attached living on to their shells. Even though a horseshoe crab is called a crab, it's actually more closely related to a scorpion or a spider. Horseshoe crabs live in salt water on the bay or shallow coastal ocean bottoms. Late spring to early summer, the time it is right now, is one of the best times to see the horseshoe crabs. They come out of the water onto the bay beaches to spawn. One of the most interesting things we learned about horseshoe crabs is that they really can't hurt you. They can't pinch you. They're really harmless, even though they're very prehistoric and scary looking with that pointed tail. They're gentle creatures. If you ever see a horseshoe crab upside down in the surf line, a really kind thing to do is help it flip back. If you want to pick up a horseshoe crab, you should never pick it up by its tail. That can really harm it. You want to pick it up and support it in like a bowl or a cup shape on its shell. So there are 4 different species of horseshoe crabs in the world. We're here at the Delaware Bay, which is one of the best places to see the North American horseshoe crab. The Delaware Bay has the largest population on the Atlantic coast of the horseshoe crabs, and this is really where they like to come to spawn during the high tide and that full moon. Scientists currently do population studies on the horseshoe crabs every year because things like sea level rise and development and scientific uses for the horseshoe crab can definitely hurt the horseshoe crab, and they want to make sure that the populations are safe. We also learned that horseshoe crabs are really important for scientific and medical purposes, and that horseshoe crab blood is actually harvested to treat certain diseases like spinal meningitis. And if you get a chance, Google it and look up the color of horseshoe crab blood. It is a bright blue color and very unusual looking. So we learned that a spawning female horseshoe crab will lay about 90,000 eggs in a season, and less than 10 of these eggs will survive to adulthood. So it's really a fascinating process. So you might be saying to yourself, what's so special about a horseshoe crab? Well, they've inhabited the earth for at least 100 million years before the dinosaurs arrived, and they're still around today. Like we mentioned earlier, the horseshoe crab eggs are super important to migrating birds. The horseshoe crab blood is critical to medical and scientific studies to help humans. We hope you've enjoyed this video, learning a little bit about horseshoe crabs and seeing what it's like when they come on the beach to spawn. When we were traveling around in Delaware, we came across this little brochure that they were giving out where you can build your own 3D horseshoe crab model. So we kind of did that here. Didn't turn out totally perfect. We're not that crafty, but good enough for you to get a look at it. That's what the underside of it looks like. It was just a fun little horseshoe crab arts and crafts. Thanks so much for watching our video.